One of the most important places I think you're ever going to use your phone is here in the car. Now, it's also one of the more dangerous places, right? And how many times a day do you drive around and you see somebody looking down at their phone at a stoplight, or even worse, while they're actually driving? We've all done it, I know. But the manufacturers are trying to do their part to keep us from using our phones in the car as much as we can, while still using our phones in the car as much as we can, right? That's where things like Android Auto and Apple's CarPlay come into play. And really, I think that's one of the most important things we can do in the car, right? Still be able to use your phone for music and navigation and actually, communications, right? But to do so safely. And we've been waiting for a new version of Android Auto to come out for a while now. They said it was coming out late summer. It's finally here. I've been using it for a few days. It is a great improvement. So let me go get back in the garage and let's take a deeper look at this. So this is it, folks. It's the updated Android Auto. Now I'm using it on the Alpine Halo 9, which, by the way, is still really awesome. Go watch my full video on that if you haven't seen it before. Anyway, this is a whole new user interface. The apps mostly still look the same, and there's some new ones in there too, but it's how you get around that's really different. So first, the old sort of home screen is gone, and so too are the little cards that you'd find on it, right? Now instead, we have a sort of proper app drawer. They call it the app launcher. And the really cool thing about it is that your recently used apps float to the top. Now that's a big deal because it's 100 times better than the old list that we would have to scroll through every single time. This is just way more efficient. And that means that your eyes spend more time on the road and less time on the screen, and fractions of a second matter here, right? And you'll also notice a few new apps. And they're actually things that you didn't install yourself. There are icons for calendar, news, weather, and reminders. Now it's really just Google Assistant doing its thing. And it'll do it in whatever voice you have set, which for me is John Legend, because I have a wife and 2 daughters, and John Legend is just way cooler than me. Hey, John Legend.
Hey, 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 hey. That hey was in the key of E.
Anyway, it'll read appointments out loud or kick you into a news source like CNN, or you can set reminders, or you can have it read the weather as only John Legend can.
Right now in Pensacola, it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny. Today, it'll be clear with a forecasted high of 92 and a low of 73.
Now the other big deal is what you see when you're inside of an app, right? Now you've got one-touch access to audio playback. So if you're in, say, Waze, you can control the audio without having to dump out of that and back into, say, Pocket Casts or Spotify. Now you never have to leave your navigation app, and that's a really big deal, right? It's the way it should work. There's also a button for notifications, so it's easy to find a missed text message. And of course, there's the microphone for voice. Now, I thought I'd miss having that phone icon front and center, but I really don't, right? I can use my voice easily enough to make a phone call, or it's just a couple taps away. Now, the new theme of Android Auto is dark, and it's really nice. I like it. My only complaint is that the notifications that drop down from the top of the screen often end up being dark on dark. Now, it's not so bad when you're looking at things in like an emulator, but out there on the road with the sun and the glare, it's not good during the day. Now, it's a lot better in an app like Google Maps or Waze, which have lighter backgrounds, but when it's dark on dark, it's pretty hard to see. And I tell you, yes, I definitely still love Android Auto a lot more than Apple CarPlay, even though they're a lot more similar now. But more on that in the fall once iOS 13 has come out of beta. So that's it for the Android Auto update. I tell you, it's a really, really good update. It makes using it so much easier. By the way, this little thing I'm using up here, that's an Alpine unit. I've got a whole video on that. Go watch it if you haven't already. Highly recommend it. Love having a 9-inch screen here in the car. If you've got any other questions, find me on the socials. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's it. See you later.